Waiting. It's something none of us enjoy. Whether it's waiting for a prayer to be answered, a door to open, or a dream to come true, the waiting seasons of life can feel endless and frustrating. But here's the truth. Waiting is never wasted when God is involved. Ecclesiastes 3:11 tells us, "He has made everything beautiful in its time." God's timing is perfect, even when it doesn't match ours. Today, we'll explore how to trust God in the waiting, how to find purpose in the pause, and how to rest in the assurance that His plans for you are always good. Chapter 1. Understanding God's timing. We live in a world that values speed, faster results, quicker answers, instant gratification. But God operates on a different timeline. Isaiah 55:8-9 reminds us, "For my thoughts are not your thoughts, neither are your ways my ways, declares the Lord. As the heavens are higher than the earth, so are my ways higher than your ways, and my thoughts than your thoughts." God's timing is not a delay, it's preparation. What feels like a pause to us is God's way of aligning everything perfectly for His purpose. Trusting His timing starts with shifting your perspective. Instead of asking, "Why is this taking so long?" ask, "What is God preparing me for?" In the waiting, He's not withholding blessings, He's building something greater. Chapter 2. Finding purpose in the waiting. Waiting doesn't mean doing nothing. It's an active season where God shapes, refines, and prepares you. Think of a seed planted in the soil. It doesn't sprout the moment it's buried. It takes time, hidden and unseen, for roots to grow deep before the plant can break through the surface. James 1:4 says, "Let perseverance finish its work so that you may be mature and complete, not lacking anything." Ask yourself, what is God teaching me in this season? Is He strengthening your faith, teaching patience, or opening your heart to trust Him more deeply? Waiting is not a waste. It's the soil where God grows the fruits of the Spirit in your life. Chapter 3. Letting go of control. One of the hardest parts of waiting is letting go of control. We want to plan, predict, and push forward, but waiting requires surrender. Proverbs 3:5-6 tells us, "Trust in the Lord with all your heart, and lean not on your own understanding. In all your ways submit to Him, and He will make your paths straight." Letting go doesn't mean giving up. It means trusting that God's plan is better than yours. It's saying, "Lord, I don't see the whole picture, but I trust you do." When you release the need to control, you create space for God to work. And in His hands, even the waiting becomes a blessing. Chapter 4. Trusting the promise of God's faithfulness. God's timing is always tied to His promises. He is faithful, and He never forgets what He has spoken over your life. Habakkuk 2:3 says, "For the vision is yet for an appointed time. It speaks of the end, and will not prove false. Though it will linger, wait for it. It will certainly come, and will not delay." The waiting may feel long, but God's promises are sure. Reflect on His faithfulness in the past, how He's provided, protected, and guided you. Let those memories strengthen your faith for what's to come. Trusting God's timing means believing that His promises will always be fulfilled, even if they take longer than you expect. Chapter 5. Resting in the assurance of God's plan. Waiting isn't just about patience, it's about rest. Resting in the assurance that God's plan for you is good, even when you can't see it yet. Jeremiah 29:11 reminds us, "For I know the plans I have for you, declares the Lord, plans to prosper you and not to harm you, plans to give you hope and a future." Rest doesn't mean inactivity. It means quieting your heart and trusting God's timing. Take time to pray, to worship, to focus on His goodness. Let His peace fill the spaces where worry used to live. When you rest in Him, you're reminded that the waiting is not the end. It's the beginning of something beautiful. Waiting is never wasted when it's in God's hands. In the seasons of silence, He is speaking. In the moments of stillness, He is moving. And in the times of waiting, He is working all things together for your good. starting today. Trust His timing. Find purpose in the pause, and rest in the assurance that the God who created time itself is holding your future. You don't have to rush. You don't have to worry. God's timing is perfect, and He will make everything beautiful in its time.